In a world filled with political tensions and territorial disputes, the idea of an invasion is never too far away. But some countries have taken defense to a whole new level, making themselves practically invincible against any potential aggressor. And in this video, we will take a closer look at some of these nations. So join us today as we explore the 10 countries that have fortified themselves with innovative defense techniques, making it almost impossible for any invasion to succeed. Number 10. The United States of America. Well, they say no country is 100% safe, but the USA is pretty damn safe when it comes to invasion. Its massive size, advanced technology, and powerful military make it incredibly difficult to conquer. With over 9 million square kilometers of land, no army is powerful enough to launch a successful invasion of America. Not to forget, America has 5,550 nuclear warheads, more than any other country. If the US was invaded, it could use these to defend itself, essentially annihilating any country that attempted to land troops on its territory. But America's power and influence go beyond its military might. The country is home to many of the world's leading technology companies and is a global leader in innovation and high-tech industries. This gives America enormous wealth and resources, making it even more difficult for other countries to challenge its power. Significant parts of the world economy depend on US companies and American technology. An invasion of the US would cause enormous disruption to the world economy, and major world powers are unlikely to let this happen. 9. Canada. On number 2, we have a neighbor to the US, Canada. Canada, the second largest country in the world, is a fortress in the north. Its geography, along with its close relationship to the United States, makes it virtually impossible to invade. But what exactly makes Canada so difficult to conquer? With 10 provinces and 3 territories, Canada has a strong military, well-equipped and well-trained to defend its borders. From the rugged Rocky Mountains to the dense forest of the east, the Canadian military is trained to operate in diverse terrains and extreme weather conditions. But it is not just about physical strength. The Canadian Armed Forces are also equipped with high-tech equipment, including advanced fighter jets, submarines, and intelligence-gathering capabilities. This makes it difficult for any potential aggressor to get the upper hand. Other than this, Canada has invested heavily in its defense infrastructure, with a vast network of fortifications and surveillance systems that are capable of detecting any arising threats. These fortifications are not just a show of strength, but a real line of defense against any would-be invaders. The Canada-US border is the longest undefended border in the world, but that does not mean Canada takes security lightly. The two countries have a long-standing military partnership and share intelligence and defense strategies to ensure the security of North America. So if you are looking to invade or raid, Canada is not the place for you. It is a nation that takes its defense seriously and is ready to defend itself against any threats. Number 8. Russia. Russia is the largest country in the world, and its defense against invasion is primarily its topography. The Russian generals joke that they could simply step aside and let nature defend the country on its own. This is because the country has a fatal climate with steep mountains and subarctic temperatures that make travel difficult. It will be a place for any army to reach the Russian mainland, and they will have spent a lot of resources by the time they get there. The Russian military is also very strong, with 7,000 nuclear weapons, more than 15,857 armored vehicles, and 900,000 active personnel. It is a huge challenge to confront and defeat that level of military strength. Number 7. Japan. Japan is one of the oldest civilizations and yet has never been invaded. As an island nation in the Pacific Ocean, its geography makes it difficult to invade due to the natural barrier of the sea. The country also has a strong military, including the Self-Defense Forces, which is considered one of the strongest in the world. Japan means business when it comes to its military power. Since 2016, they have cranked up their military spending to a staggering $40 billion, indicating that they are not taking any chances when it comes to their national defense. Number 6. United Kingdom. Great Britain is a superpower with a long history of defending itself. Its military strength combined with its geography makes it nearly impossible to invade. The British Armed Forces have a long and storied history, and they are equipped with some of the most advanced technology in the world, including fighter jets, submarines, and spying capabilities. The English Channel and the steep white cliffs of Dover provide a natural barrier that is difficult to breach. During World War II, the Nazis were unable to capture Great Britain despite their attempts. Additionally, the country's island geography provides a natural barrier against invading forces, while its location in the North Atlantic makes it challenging to launch a surprise attack. Another big factor that serves as a deterrent to potential invaders is the UK's membership in NATO and strong alliances with other global powers. Number 5. Israel. Israel is a small country located in the Middle East, surrounded by countries with vastly larger populations and militaries. Despite this, Israel has managed to defend itself against numerous invasions throughout history. First, Israel has a strong and well-trained military. Conscription is mandatory for both men and women, which means that a large portion of the population has military training. In addition, Israel has a technologically advanced military with advanced weaponry and defense systems. The country is surrounded by mountains, deserts, and the Mediterranean Sea, which limit the avenues of attack for any invader. Israel's strong military, natural barriers, resilient population, advanced technology, and strong sense of national identity all contribute to making it difficult to invade. Despite its small size, Israel has proven to be a formidable opponent in the face of adversity. Number 4. Australia. Australia is an island country located in the southern hemisphere, surrounded by the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Its isolation makes it difficult to invade, as invaders would have to cross vast distances of water and navigate through treacherous currents. Furthermore, Australia's geography is characterized by harsh and unforgiving terrain. The outback, a vast and arid desert that covers much of the country's interior, would be difficult for invading forces to navigate and sustain themselves in. Australia also has a well-equipped and well-trained military with a strong focus on maritime defense. The Royal Australian Navy, in particular, is a powerful force that patrols the waters around the country and can engage hostile ships. Also, Australia has strong alliances with other countries, particularly the United States and Japan, which has a strong military presence in the region. This would likely deter any potential invaders from attempting to attack Australia. Number 3. Iran. Iran, a country with a long history and a rich culture, has also gained a reputation as a difficult country to invade. But what makes it so challenging? Iran has several natural barriers, such as the Zagros Mountains in the west and the Caspian Sea in the north, which make it challenging for ground forces to penetrate deep into the country. Also, it has a relatively large and well-trained military, with a mix of modern and older weapon systems. The country has also invested heavily in its missile capabilities, which can strike targets across the region. This makes any possible invasion a costly and risky endeavor. With around 610,000 active duty personnel and an additional 350,000 reserve and trained personnel who can be called upon when necessary, the Iranian armed forces constitute the largest military force in terms of active troops in the Middle East. This brings the total number of military personnel in Iran to approximately 960,000. Iran also has built alliances with several countries in the region, including Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq. In the event of an invasion, these countries could provide Iran with support and sanctuary, making it even more difficult to defeat. Number 2. Switzerland. Switzerland, known for its chocolate and stunning scenery, is also one of the most difficult countries to invade and conquer. Why? Because Switzerland's mountainous terrain, covering over 60% of its land area, acts as a natural fortress against invading forces. But it is not just the terrain. The Swiss military has a strong tradition of neutrality and self-defense, and every able-bodied citizen is required to serve. And Switzerland's political system, based on direct democracy and federalism, makes it challenging for foreign powers to control the country. Power is decentralized, and the people have a say in governance. So, next time you see the Swiss flag, remember the strength and resilience behind the peaceful facade of this mountainous fortress in the heart of Europe. Number 1. Bhutan. Bhutan, a king of mountains, culture, and happiness. For centuries, this small country has remained unconquered, despite the attempts of powerful neighbors. Bhutan's rugged terrain and harsh climate, along with its small but fierce military skilled in mountain warfare, make it a force to be reckoned with. The country has also established an extensive network of bunkers and fortifications to defend against any invasion. And let's not forget Bhutan's strong diplomatic ties with India and other regional countries. This provides political and military support to ensure the country's sovereignty and independence. Out of these 10 countries that are notoriously difficult to invade, it is difficult to determine which one of them is the most impossible to conquer. Ultimately, it is safe to say that invading any of these countries would be a challenging task, and their respective defenses would pose a significant obstacle for any invading force. By investing heavily in their defense capabilities, These countries have spared no expense in protecting themselves from any potential threats.